Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Nick Eatman.
Good morning. Welcome to Cowboys Storyline. It is Friday, October 17th, final show of the week, final show before the Cowboys take on the Washington Commanders. I don't think I've let it slip all week, right? I'm pretty sure. I caught myself a couple times, but I think I've said Commanders every time. Now I still use the other word every now and again when we're talking about way back in the day in the game against them in the 70s, 80s, but, they've been the Commanders for a while. I guess it's starting to sound normal. But I still use Washington as much as I can because it's still Dallas. Washington, the rivalry has always been there. But anyways, we'll talk about that. See what you think. I'm sure there'll be a lot of predictions. There's already been some this week. And every one of them seems to be a pretty high-scoring game. Why wouldn't it be? I mean, the Cowboys are one of the best or the best offense in the NFL and one of the worst defenses in the league. So when that happens, they're going to score points. They're going to give up points. So just see if they can get the most at the end. Let's get it going here. 888-855-2297. Davion from Illinois is next. He's first. What's up?
What's going on, Big Dog?
How are
What's
you?
Going on? I'm good, man. I'm on day shift this week, so it's been hard to get in, but I had to try to get in for the weekend hit.
Yeah. Well, what you thinking?
Well, honestly, couple of comments and a question. Yesterday's show is always good. I really appreciate Blair and Sebastian's call. There was some good stuff from them two guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to get the new first timers on too.
Oh yeah.
I had a question I wanted to ask. I'm glad I finally got on to ask. I know we got rumors circulating like crazy about trades and stuff like that, but if we can make a trade, in your opinion, what's be the first thing you're trying to trade for? What position?
Pass rush. I mean, I don't think it's even close. What else would it be? I mean, because I just think that's the one spot that will make everybody better, and I think it's been proven. I just don't think Deron Bland and Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson, Trayvon Diggs, I don't think they forgot how to play football. I don't. I think that they're a lot better when there's a better pass rush.
I want to be a linebacker. I've been harping on that. I was harping on the space about it last night. I really think we need a linebacker that can kind of get everybody lined up like they need to and hit the right gaps.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad at a pass rusher. But I know before I go, I wanted to give my prediction: 41-38 Cowboys. I think it's gonna be a shootout. I think we get our track shoes on. We're going to be on track shoes to lead to the bye week to these boys sort of into this whatever Flu's trying to get them to do on a weekly basis. We just going to have our track shoes on. So hopefully we can get a win this week and get that nasty taste out of our mouth from last week.
All right. I like it. You know what? That's a great leadoff question and leadoff topic. Thanks, Davion, for the call. Sometimes when that happens, it kind of can carry on for the rest of the show. What position would you be if you're going to trade? If you're going to make a trade, who do you want? What's the position? Don't tell me who, because we can't really get into all that. But I do want to hear what would be the position. I wouldn't think there'd be a lot of different options here, but you never know. It could surprise me a little bit. Let's go to Brian in Kansas City.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, Brian, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm with you. I think it's pass rush. If it was the off season, I would say middle linebacker, but I don't think because that guy's usually the green dot, I don't think you can bring them in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be too difficult. And I know we got our bye week coming up and everything, but if Sean Lee was 10 years younger and there's a guy. So there are people who could do it. And he's a guy who could do it. You could bring him in, and in 2 weeks he would know the defense better than everybody else, right?
Right.
But I agree. The only person you can bring in now, and I think you have to go all in. I won't name names, but it's got to be an elite pass rusher. Don't go get me somebody that got 6 sacks last year. It's got to be somebody top of the line.
Yeah, because they've done that. They did that. It's called Dante Fowler. I mean, he Yeah, 10. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It's got to be somebody that scares the offense. Somebody that the quarterback is a little worried about. So
somebody that they say, hey, put 2 bodies on that guy.
yeah.
That's my thinking. All right, so this week I'm thinking I'm going with Aubrey's going to set the record with a 68-yard field goal, and we're still going to fall short. It's going to be 33-30 Commanders, and this is the week where they say they've had enough. They get rid of Flus, and we go back to 2011, and we bring back Rob Ryan.
Oh, my goodness.
I'll hang up and listen, man. Have a good one.
All right. I don't see that happening, the last part. What's funny is that, 33-30 Washington. I mean, that's pretty much what it's been. I don't think this team. I mean, what's funny is that the Cowboys did not play well in the first game at all, in defense in the first half. Then against the Eagles, and then they kind of, slowed them down, and everything kind of slowed down, and they lost the game 24-20. I mean, let's see, what did the Jets score? I guess the Jets scored 22. They got 22. I was going to say, was that the lowest points that they've given up? I do think the Jets ended up with 22. That was late. I mean, that was their best. No doubt about it. That was their best defensive performance. But, I mean, the Jets are winless, and their quarterback had an awful game last week. So that's not saying a whole lot there. I mean, if they give up 33 points, what I was about to say is that a good thing? But no, that would be bad again. They got to figure out a way to win. Dak said it yesterday. I mean, we just got to win. We have to win this game. And I think this is a very important game for both teams. That's why I think it's going to be a really, really good one. I think it's going to come down to the very end. Who makes that stop? The Cowboys have scored 40 points in both of their games at AT&T Stadium. And at the end of the game, they got to stop one way or another. The defense, I mean, say what you will, but the Packers did not score. They were thrown into the end zone. They did not score. They had to settle for the tie. The Giants, they threw an interception. Russell threw a bad pass, and it was an interception, and the Cowboys went and won the game. So, the defense got to stop at the end. That's kind of what I'm thinking. That's what I picked is 40-34. Cowboys are going to get some kind of stop and score another 40. I'm just going to keep it riding that. All right, Raza in Virginia is our next caller.
Hey, Nick.
What's up?
So just about this game, I feel like speaking to my brother-in-law and his neighbor, they're a little worried as well because they're Washington fans. And, they're worried about their defense.
Sure.
And looking at the injury report, I think we definitely have to win this game. It's looking like Dorrance Armstrong might not play, looking like Terry McLaurin might not play, looking like Deebo Samuels might not play. So our defense, I know they've been horrible, but this is a game where, if you don't win this game or can't even get that one key stop, like you said, or 2 key stops, then, I mean, I don't know.
You gotta win.
You have to win because with that injury report.
Yeah. Well,
it's looking like we should, because they're going to have Noah Brown, Luke McCaffrey. We have 2 $20 million corners.
Mm-hmm.
Step up and shut those receivers down. I predict us to win based on how the injury report will look. We'll see how Friday's injury report comes out. We'll see if they're going to play or not, but it looks like they might miss. But I'm like with you. I think it should be we score 40 points like we have at home, and they'll score probably 32, 34 points, and that's my prediction. And we better get the win, or I don't know how the season's going to go.
Yeah.
I won't have much high hopes after that, but let's see.
All right. Thanks for the call, Raza. When you say that about the injuries, what's fun, and I don't know all of their stuff. I mean, I haven't looked at it that closely yet. Today's the day where that's when they, designate, are you out, are you doubtful or questionable. And you say Dorrance Armstrong may not play. Okay. Terry McLaurin may not play. And I know he's a really good player, but he hasn't been dominant really against the Cowboys, and they've had some success if they play man. I mean, Diggs has had his number a little bit when he faces him. But you say that about Deebo Samuel, and I kind of perk up like, oh, really? Because that guy's killed the Cowboys. There's no doubt about it. Not with the 49ers, but still, I mean, he's just a nightmare to match up with. And so I don't know the situation, but when I look at that kind of stuff, I see what the Cowboys have had injury-wise, and I try not to make a big deal out of it because no one cares when the Cowboys are down with these guys. You know what I mean? So I don't really care who's hurt and who isn't. But I mean, because even when Jaden Daniels left the game in the last game of the season against Washington, he left the game, and Mariota comes in and won it for him. So, the way I look at it is that, it is next man up. The Cowboys have to deal with it, and Washington will as well. Sebastian in Savannah, Georgia, he's next man up. What's up?
Good morning, Mr. Evan. How you doing?
Good. You?
I'm doing just fine. Listen, if you guys saw last night's football game, Aaron Rodgers going up against Joey Flacco. Joe Flacco just got shipped off from the Browns to the Bengals for like a Dollar Tree Christmas ornament, and he beat Aaron Rodgers. So the tools matter to the carpenter. And, for people like how much help does Dak Prescott need? He has all the help that he needs, and that's why we're going to get the dub this week. I'm going to go 28-24 Cowboys. Now, the reason that I say that is because as much as we love DQ and praise DQ around here because of how bad our defense has been, Dan Quinn's defense is 25th right now in the league.
Yeah.
They're giving up a lot of yards. They're only like 50 yards behind us. The only difference is they buckle it up in the red zone a little bit, so they've only given up like 13 touchdowns.
Right.
Not going to be a problem. On the other hand, they got a QB that loves to run. I mean, this kid loves to run like RG3 back in the day. But we're going to go ahead. It's going to be another backyard burner, but we're not going to get above 30 this time, and our defense is going to hold just enough to get us that W. You guys have a great week, Cowboys, and I hope everybody's feeling good today, and I think I'm a list.
All right, Sebastian. Thanks for the call. You're right. Quarterback Jaden Daniels, I mean, he's been banged up, but he didn't run a lot last week. And then, of course, his last play from scrimmage was a fumble. But I don't think he's having the best season. He's been good, but I mean, I'm not even going to call it a sophomore slump. It's not that. It's just teams kind of it's hard when you're second year. Teams kind of figure you out a little bit more. They spend all off season to kind of see what how to game plan against them, and the great ones find a way to kind of come back over the top from that. And I think he is that. I mean, he's going to be really tough for the Cowboys this week, just because he's a good thrower, he's a good runner, he stays out of trouble, and he's got a tight end in Ertz that. You talk about turning back the clock. I mean, Ertz is still doing it, and still doing it at a high level. So they're going to move the ball. There's no doubt about it. They're going to run it. They're going to and they run the ball well. They're one of the top 10 rushing teams in the NFL, and he's a part of that. Daniels is a part of that for sure. All right, let's go to Ali in Florida.
Happy Friday, my dear friend.
How are you?
Very good, sir. How are you?
Good.
Okay, so I'm not a very important person to call every day, but I try to call once a week and then listen to everybody else. So I'm a good listener. So I've got a couple of things very quick for you. I have my take, and I got a trivia for you and a suggestion. First of all, the elephant in the room, we have a bad defense. But you have a caller yesterday that it says put him on the front office and the coaching. It's just like it's not one thing to fix. It's so many other things. But if you look at the Cowboys record, 2-3-1, we were in the game with the Eagles, we were with the Green Bay, and we went with the Panthers. If you really get a little lucky, it could be easily 3 wins. But having said that, I'm not here to cry over spilled milk. But to me, the defense need to play a little bit better, and I like the chance. I never thought we were going to go to Super Bowl this year. But getting the playoff, planning for next year, that's great. Second, I think to grow the show, it is so nice to maybe, if Derek allow you to have a second line designated for the new callers only. So when they call once, they go back in the line on the rest of us, so we can get the few new callers every week. So my trivia for you, that I have a nickname for you, I'll call you a GOAT, You have such a unbelievable knowledge. So who was the linebacker Cowboys drafted and converted to the defensive line that he was just not as good as yet? I think in my era, he was just as good as Michael Parsons. Then I hang up and listen. Love you, brother.
All right. Well, thank you for the call, and you hung up. So a linebacker moved to the D line that's just as good as Micah Parsons. I mean, the only one that comes to mind there is Randy White. I mean, Randy White was a linebacker in college, and he was a linebacker early on with the Cowboys, and then they kind of converted him to defensive tackle. That's got to be the answer, unless I'm missing somebody else. But Randy White, he was the manster. I mean, he was pretty damn good. So if you're going to be that good and compare him to Micah Parsons, and as an All-Pro and a Hall of Famer, that is one answer, and that's certainly not a wrong answer. I'm not sure if that's the player that you were talking about, but I can't imagine one better than that. He was a linebacker, and he was a really great player, and he went to the Hall of Fame. So, all right, let's go to Jeremy in D.C. Jeremy, what's up?
Hey, yo, Nick, what's up, man?
How are you?
I'm all right, man. You staying out of trouble today? You're excited.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to say yes or no on anything just yet.
I know it's too early for you to hurt somebody, so I got to make sure you're staying out of trouble at least.
Not too early, I swear. If you could see how I have to get my son ready for school every day, not too early. But, no, he's good. I grab him by his little
I got
afro.
a couple injury questions for you, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know how my boy Kalen Carson doing, because he haven't been the same since he tried to tackle Derrick Henry. So I just want to know how he holding up. Is he coming back this week? And then I want to know, how's the BB? Because I missed the BB.
Oh,
Brock Hoffman, he doing okay, but I don't watch the last game probably like 4 or 5 times, man, and they was taking advantage of Brock. So I think we need the BB back.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I definitely think that was a absolute tough matchup there. I don't know if BB's holding up. That I don't know. I'm not going to say that he wouldn't, because that's his style of play. He likes to what they say dirt people. Put him in the dirt. But Derek Brown and Ashawn Robinson certainly won that battle up front. I mean, BB and Booker were missed for sure in that game, and Carolina took advantage for sure. But what was your other point there?
How is Kalen Carson coming back this?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And, real quick,
yeah.
Can you tell? Because you tell a lot of stories about people, but I never heard you tell a story about Big Nate Newton, and he in the building with you. So I want to know if you got a story about him, and then I hear that on the other side.
Of course.
Have a good weekend, brother. You
right.
and the family. All of y'all.
Thanks.
Cowboy Nation. Love y'all.
Thank you, Jeremy. Kalen Carson, he's supposed to be back this week. Now, I don't know if that means he will be. They got to make a move to put him on the roster. So that I think that's what they're expecting to do. I'm not sure who he's going to replace, and if he does play. I'm not super high on him. I mean, I don't. Is he better than what you have? I mean, it's not. I guess we'll find out. I mean, he's a young player. He hasn't practiced a lot. He missed a lot of time this offseason and didn't participate really in the preseason game, so or that much of that. So, he needs to play. I mean, he's a mystery. I mean, I really don't know what to expect with him. I know he did some good things in training camp, and then he had to start, and he did, and didn't go that well. We'll see what his confidence looks like, but and as for a story on Nate Newton. Well, I mean, Nate, I got a lot of stories on Nate. I mean, before I even was working here, but my very first training camp, I wasn't working for the Cowboys. I was actually working for the city paper in Wichita Falls. So, when the Cowboys came to training camp, and I'll never forget this. It was 98, and that was a few cheeseburgers ago for me. I was a little lighter than I am now, and so the wind, blew one way. I mean, I might go down. I mean, I was pretty thin back then, And I tell this because we're sideline, training camp, goal line. I'm right there at the goal line, and I remember Cowboys ran some kind of sweep to our direction, and here comes Emmett maybe or Chris Warren or I don't know who it was, but you got to be careful. Next thing you know, Nate's running. Now I'm not close to Nate. I'm not. He's going to miss me. He's walking. He's running by. I'm out of the way, but he just decides to just shove me, just cause. And I was like at the 5-yard line maybe, and I went back into the end zone. I guess he kind of pushed me that way, but I mean, it was just a simple little shove, and I've asked him about it. I mean, not that he would remember, but he was just like, oh yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna run that far, I'm gonna hit somebody, and so I was the one on that one. So that's my Nate story before I was working here. All right, let's go to break real quick on Cowboys Storyline. Be right back.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
Gillette's Best Shave is now available in cowboy colors with 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor is available at Gillette.com. Gillette. All right. 888-855-2297. It's the number to call. Steve in New York has called it. He's on the line. What's up?
What's up, Nick?
Hey, Steve.
I'll keep it pretty quick. 45-40. I like everyone else, I can't see this being low scoring. But I just want to say that I guess I'm in the minority because I don't want to make any trades now. I don't think this is a fixable defense. I think you can improve it, but you know what I think people forget a little bit. When we traded that guy to Green Bay, I know we got Clark back, who I like, but who on this defense is the guy that when coordinators from other teams are playing, they say, okay, we have to watch this guy.
Yeah, right.
We don't have that guy.
That's the problem. You're right.
Yeah. And that guy makes players around him better. And I'm not singling out guys, but the Dante Fowlers and the guys who, there's probably a reason why you're not getting the production now because no one's focusing on that guy anymore because we don't have him. You can't get him in the trade. I don't think that particular player is available now. So, and I'm not a mock draft guy. I don't look at him. But come draft day, I want those picks. I would like all the picks that we got from the trade. So was that 2? We'll have 2 first rounders, right?
Yeah.
And do we have a second and third?
Not the third. Pickens. Yeah. I think Pickens was the third.
Third. Okay. Well, see, another reason to re-sign him, but I won't get into that.
Yeah.
But okay. So, trivia, real quick. This rivalry with Washington is weird. From '97 to 2002, Cowboys actually beat him 10 times. But if you're a Cowboy fan, those weren't exactly good Cowboy years, but for whatever reason. And you get every trivia, Nick. So I got to hit you with a punter trivia today. All right? Speaking of Micah Knorr was the punter in that 2002 season, but he got hurt. He was replaced by a guy who played, I think, about 9 games. Was the punter for the Cowboys. The only 9 games he ever played in his NFL career. Do you know who he is?
Does his first and last name start with the same letter?
Yes, they do.
This is an all-time namer right here. Is it?
Yep.
Filipovich?
Yeah, you're the best, Nick. Yeah, that is correct. Yep.
You're the best for bringing Filipovich, whatever.
Yeah.
He was like the nicest guy in the world too. Like he was a super nice guy. Yes, but I'm telling you, he's another one that I may not have ever brought up again. Filipovich. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah. Yep.
I was gonna keep mad. I was like, don't bring the punter in here because there was a punter. There was a name that came by, like Halaralu or something like that. Haralalu. I forget. I don't know how to say that. I forget his name from about 10 years ago.
I think I know the guy you're talking about.
But anyways, I was like, that's the first thing that came up. Like, oh, it's gonna be something like that. Filipovich.
Yeah. You think we were going to hear that on Friday's show?
No,
right?
I didn't. I love that. All right, Steve. Thank you.
Have a great weekend. Go Cowboys.
You know what's great about that? And the worst part is I threw my pen, and that was not the smartest thing ever. But that's okay. But the fact that I chuckled a couple of times during Steve's call. To be honest, I mean, everything you're saying is right about they don't have that guy. They don't have that guy. But when he said, when we traded that guy to Green Bay, just that guy, and he's not mentioning him by name at all. He didn't do it once, except for when we're talking about the punter, Micah Knorr, who was hurt. Then he would. Then he was like, okay, speaking of Micah, but you really weren't speaking of Micah. You were speaking of that guy. I like it. If that's his name, that's fine. Now, they don't have that guy because they traded that guy, and now they need another that guy. And so they got to figure him out. All right, let's go to JR in Avondale, Arizona. JR, what's up?
Morning, Nick. Happy Friday.
First-time caller?
Hey, no. I've got through before. Hey, man, I got to take my hat off to you that you pulled the Filipovich name out. I would have bet anything that you would not get that one. So you are amazing, sir. I pride myself on Cowboy trivia, and I would have never thought of that one. Not a million.
I tell you what, if I pat myself on the back, I'm proud of myself for that one, but I don't want to break my arm patting myself on the back. But yeah, and I am glad about it that it got brought up because I remember him. And because I was pretty young back then too. I didn't have a guy that I talked to a whole lot. So I gravitated towards anybody. And he was just a super, super nice guy. And that's the thing. I mean, Steve Hoffman, the kicking coach back then, he wouldn't bring. He told me that, he said that before. I'm not bringing in jerks. I'm going to bring in good young people that know how to kick and punt, and we're going to teach them, and they're going to be even better. So I mean, that was pretty much the case. You didn't see that a lot, and he was a really nice guy.
Yeah, you amaze me. Hey, so
thank you.
I apologize for the Jack Sanborn diaper comment yesterday. That was meant as tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
It sounded serious, so I apologize.
Anyway, no, don't apologize.
To answer all these questions, I don't know why I'm thinking this. Was Tony Tolbert a linebacker at UTEP and they converted him to DN? I don't know why that popped in my head, but I don't remember if that was the case or not. But
if he was like if he was a linebacker, like in the scheme, I mean that's what D Ware was and all that, so he could have been at UTEP, could have been that kind of style of player, and Tony Tolbert at UTEP could have probably played safety, would have been fine. You know what I mean? He was just a really, but I mean he probably did play outside linebacker like a Derek Thomas type defense, and it was just wrecking people, but. Ali actually did call back and talk to Chris and said that Randy White was the guy he was mentioning there. Either way.
To answer your question, pass rusher is that position because that equals interceptions, that equals strip sack fumbles, and that equals 2nd and 16, not 2nd and 2. So what I'd like to see from the Cowboys, and I'll end it with this, I'm a little disappointed in the defensive line. I was looking at stats. I think Diggy Zua is like 11th on the team in tackles, and I want to see this defensive line start getting some stops, 1-yard game, 2-yard game. So I look for improvement from the defensive line. Other than that, that's all I got. Have a great day, and go Cowboys.
Thank you, JR. I appreciate that. You know, you're not wrong at all on that. I mean, Osa being that far down the tackle list, he's playing a lot. The ball's going right there, you know, and you're not making the play. There was a couple of moments in the game, you know, where we were watching. I remember Derek Eagleton was like, "Oh, you know, look at this play," and it was a couple of times where you know, Osa just getting absolutely moved off the ball, and I get it. I mean, it's a double team, but that's your job as a defensive tackle. You can't get moved off the ball. If it's a double team, the expectation, you know, is not to win and necessarily and get up there and make the play. Now, Aaron Donald did, and that's why he's one of the greatest to ever play it. But the ask is to at least hold your ground and free up someone else to go make a play. It's not to get moved out of your spot. And I'm not saying that happens a lot with those. It happened a couple times in that game, and it happened too many times in that game for Rico Dowdle. We've watched Rico Dowdle for 4 years, guys. I mean, the light hasn't just turned on. I mean, like he's a good, solid runner, but he's not a guy that should be getting 150, 200-yard games, you know, every single week. 7-8 yards a pop? No back does that. So this is not a disrespect to him because he ran hard, he ran mad, angry, and all that stuff. But the Cowboys helped in that. They did not do their job, and you know, I think that's a huge problem right now. All right, let's go to KC Joe. He's in Kansas City. Joe, how are you doing?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
Good. Doing good, sir. How are you doing today?
All right. What do we got?
Hey, it's Happy Blue Friday to all our Cowboy Nation, and it was really good to hear from Randy yesterday.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that, even though he was the last caller.
Yeah.
And what we haven't done is we haven't given kudos to the offensive coordinator, the one that came from Arizona, because he's really keeping us in the game and calling good plays.
Yeah. Clayton Adams got his flowers a couple weeks ago. There was a lot of Clayton Adams talk, not so much after a loss, of course. And, you know, rightfully so. I mean, the offense didn't do wasn't perfect, you know, and that's the problem. They kind of need to be. They need to be at this point to offset what the defense is. But when they get down in the red zone, they got to score touchdowns. You know, they have the ball's in Dak's hand, 8 minutes to go. They can't go backwards. So there's some parts that they needed to clean up, but it's, you know, we're not pointing the blame there because there's so much to go around on defense.
Yeah, it's pretty positive on offense. I mean, it's hard to point a finger at them.
No, it is, but I mean, still, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if you want to win games, I mean, you're gonna have to score. That's kind of where things are right now. They got to keep scoring, and when you get in the red zone, you expect them to score. You know, can't go backwards. They had a couple of plays that they would love to have back.
That's true.
All right.
Okay, well,
right.
I didn't have much. I just have a great Friday, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, thank you, KC Joe. It always seems like when one Kansas City guy calls, the other one does. Brian and Joe, KC Joe. I think it's our only two calls ever from Kansas City. And maybe the only Cowboy fans there. No, I doubt that. Chris Beam was able to send over the draft order currently for the Cowboys. It doesn't include compensatory picks, and the Cowboys should get a few because they lost some free agents there with D-Law and Jordan Lewis, Rico Dowdle.
Rico.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Rico Dowdle. Yeah,
keep running, buddy.
Right. If he keeps running, that'll certainly help with that. But as it stands right now, there is no third and there is no sixth. The third is for George Pickens trade. The sixth, I don't remember, because it could have been something from last year. It might have been that like Jordan Phillips or somebody like that they traded for like next year's 6th, which would be this one coming up. But still, 2 firsts, a second, a 4th, 2 5ths, and 2 7ths. So you're looking at 8 picks right now. I bet you there's websites that have what the projected comp picks are. The max you can get is 4. I would imagine the Cowboys would be there right around 4. So 11, 12 picks. And so that's kind of what you have to mess with. That's why I would it's still a relatively young team. So is 11 or 12 guys going to make this football team next year? So that's why I think 8 to 9, 10 draft picks is probably would be good enough. So I'd be okay if you found the right situation. I'd be okay with a trade there. All right, let's go Michael in Bowling Green.
Man, I've tried to get on every day this week, all day. Didn't make it. And today, on my birthday,
all right,
I got through.
Wow. Happy birthday.
Thank you. It took me, the show's pretty close to over. I've been dialing since 10, but I just got 2 quick questions to leave room for some people with the answer. The first one is, with Turpin and CD back, do you think Pickens' production will be able to stay?
No.
Up? So,
his production.
Somewhat.
But no, I don't think it'll stay up. I think it'll go down. I don't think he's going to be getting 150 yards a pop, on a consistent basis. But that's okay. That's okay if it's because CD's also doing his thing.
Got to keep him happy, though.
Oh yeah, you're right. I just think it's just more weapons. It's just more guys are gonna get the football. He's probably not looking at Jalen Tolbert's way as much as he might be looking at CD. So, but either way, it's okay if his production goes down a little bit. Just still be that player that those teams are scared about.
All right, let me ask this. All right, Cowboys get their stuff straight and make it to the NFC Championship game. They're going to beat the Lions to get there. All right, the Eagles are playing the Packers for the next spot. Who are you going for?
Am I on the road for both games? Am I on the road?
No. Cowboys are already there, and the Eagles are playing the Packers. Who would you rather the Cowboys face in the NFC Championship game? The Eagles or the Packers?
Where's the game, though? I'm asking you. Where's the game? Where's the game going to be?
On the road.
Okay, if it's going to be on the road, then I'll go to Philly. I've seen them. Yeah, I've seen them win there. Let's don't bring back, all the Dez stuff, Ice Bowl, blah blah blah. That gets in their head. No, just you've won there. You've won in Philly. Dak's won there. Go win there. That's what would be mine. But boy, that seems kind of far fetched. Kind of seems one of those, like, if you win the lottery, how do you want the money?
Yeah.
But yeah, sure. I would say a place that you've won and you're familiar going there and going to win.
All right, let me give you a prediction. I'm gonna go. It's gonna be a close one. Dallas has got to score 30, so I'm gonna go 32-28 Dallas.
All right. Sounds good. All right, Michael. Have a good one. All right, let's go to break here on Cowboys Storyline. We'll be right back.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that sticked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, back here on Cowboys Storyline. Got a few more minutes to go. We wrap this show up, wrap up the week. Let's go back to the phone lines for Dylan in Northport, Florida. Dylan, what's up?
Hey, Nick. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, dude. I saw something yesterday I thought was interesting, something you've been talking about. If this defense just could get just a smidge better, the Cowboys would be in some of these games and come away with some wins.
Uh-huh.
And I saw this thing called the Betrayal Index. That's the first time I've ever seen it, where it compares the EPAs for the quarterback compared against the defense and the special teams.
Okay.
And it's basically showing how good are the quarterbacks doing and how bad are their defense / special teams doing. And when you look at, surprisingly, the biggest betrayal is for Dak Prescott. The second one is Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield and his team is 5-1 right now, but they're ranked 5 points better defensively than the Cowboys. So that just feeds into your point. If the Cowboys can just do a smidge more, get 1 or 2 more stops a game defensively,
right,
Cowboys could be a 5-win team right now.
Yeah.
Right?
No doubt.
So, some moves, I don't know about personnel moves and all that, but if Flus can just fix a couple of things and get his players in the right spot, and if the players themselves can make tackles in key moments and just do a couple of things better, man, yeah, this team could have something cooking. I'm with you there on that 100%. Yeah. As far as my pick this week goes, I'm just going to stick to my football makes no sense in this stupid rule. And it should be a high-scoring game, and for that reason, it won't be because everybody expects it to be. So we're going to go 24-17 Cowboys.
All right, that'd be good. That would be a good one. All right, thanks for the call, Dylan. You're right. I mean, that's kind of what. I mean, I think we're all kind of saying that they don't have to be, they don't have to just flip the whole thing upside down. Just get a little bit better here. Make a few more plays. Get a few more pressures. I think if they just got more pressure, that would lead to, less third down conversions. Get off the field, shorter field. Get in there, score another touchdown, another field goal, whatever it is. And so I just think it's the pressure. It always starts there with the pressure. And you're right about the games are weird. As soon as you think it's one way, it goes the other. The Cowboys beat Washington up there in that crazy game last year. That the final score, I believe, was 34-26, but it was like 10-3 or something like that, or midway through the fourth quarter, and then all those touchdowns. I was trying to think exactly the other day. I was trying to think about everything that actually happened. I think Washington cut it to 3. They cut it to 7, and then Turpin scored, made it 14, and then they came back and made it 7, an onside kick. And the Cowboys punted, and it was like 20 seconds to go, up 7, and the 87-yard touchdown, missed the extra point, onside kick, returned for a touchdown. I mean, but all that was in the final 7 minutes of the game. So my point is that even the last year's game, the one with Trey Lance versus Jaden Daniels and then Mariota. It was pretty low scoring. I guess it was in that range of the 20s. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, last call, or 2 more callers to go. Champ in Nebraska. Champ, let's go, Champ.
Hey, good morning, Nick.
How are you doing?
I'm well, man. Thank you. Hey, I got a question. So I was listening to Shoddy's interview this morning on 105.3 The Fan, and he was talking about how Greg Olsen had kind of called out one of their deals saying that they were going to run right. So, you got to change that up. And I've been wondering for a while now, Paul, I love how much content the .com gives us as fans. Could that be a negative effect for the team? Like, do other teams actually maybe listen to talk shows, have people that listen to talk shows and stuff to see hey, where can we pick up any little bit of information? I always think back to the Super Bowl back when Jimmy found the shotgun, that shovel pass. And on the news station, little things like that. So with all the content that Dallas Cowboys put out, is that possibly a negative deal? And my prediction for this week is all this talk about high scoring, I'm assuming from your comments there that the last caller maybe something was saying maybe a lower scoring game.
Yeah.
I know both defenses are kind of horrid. So while everybody's thinking high scoring, I think that both teams kind of know each other real well, DQ and Shoddy and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go a little bit lower scoring. I'm guessing somewhere about 22-16. Kind of a little score got me looking for there. With that said, I'll be done, and you guys have a wonderful weekend.
All right. Thank you. You know, Champ, what you were talking about, and if people didn't hear this, I guess, Greg Olson, was calling plays like Romo's done before, calling plays and kind of based off of what some of the checks were, that Dak made a check and then this means it's going to run right or whatever. And then Schottenheimer shared that CeeDee Lamb actually texted after the game, like, hey, we got to switch this up and change this. And Shoddy's answer was that they have a lot of calls like that. It sounded like that Greg Olson guessed right in that particular case, but they have a lot of phrases that are dummy calls as well. They don't always mean that. So they are going to change some things up, and they do. But as far as all the content, does it lead to other things? Sure. I mean, I bet it's happened. Every team now has got 47 coaches and analytics and all that stuff. So, yeah, I'm sure they're diving into to content and things like that and trying to see some of that. But, does it play a major factor? I doubt it. But does that stuff happen if you were to just sit there and watch like some of our content or some of our, sounds from the sidelines and things like that? Could you pick up something? Sure, you probably could. But I don't think it's that serious. But because I don't think it's something that gets relayed to the players and coaches to watch for this. Because usually when that happens, I mean, they change those calls week to week. Greg Olson's very good, and he knows exactly what he's talking about. I don't know if it's like he's caught on to the cow. I think he got that one right. Just like Romo gets them right sometimes, but they get them wrong. They get them wrong, too. All right, let's go one more caller. Robbie in Cocoa Beach. Robbie.
Hey, Nick, how's your day going, man?
Good. How are you? Going good.
I'm great. I'm going fishing this afternoon, so I'm doing great.
Right.
I got a question for you. I know it's late, so I'll try to make it quick. You think we can put up 50 with CD and Pickens being coming back?
Wow. I mean, do you have to? That's what I'm worried about.
I'm worried that we might. Yeah.
Because if you need to, I mean, that's a 3:00 game, so that's going to run into the 7 o'clock Sunday night football game. If the Cowboys score 50 and have to score 50, might be the longest game in the history of football. But
don't say that.
Could they?
Man.
I mean, I think they could score every time they get the ball, and I think Washington probably could as well. So. I don't know. It's funny. These last two callers are like, everyone thinks it's high scoring, so we'll go low scoring. And you call in and say, could they score 50?
No, I don't think it's going to be low scoring at all, man. I think it's going to be crazy because
I'm gonna tell you something that's I think is going to be true. Okay, this is one thing I really believe in. It's going to be the Washington is going to score more than 20 and less than 50. That's my range. That's it. Yeah,
thanks,
you heard
bud.
it.
That's a great range.
No, you heard it first. Okay, sorry. All those guys, all those that do the expert advices, I got your lock right here. Somewhere between 20 and 50.
There you go. That's a good range for you, bud. All right, hey, have a great weekend.
Right.
Enjoy the game, and we'll talk to you guys Monday.
All right, see you later. Thank you, Robbie. Great show, guys. I mean, this is a lot of good calls. Good score predictions. You guys, fun trivia. Philip Filipovich. Wow. Thank you for throwing that out there. Steve in New York threw that out there. Let me bring up that blast from the past. I looked it up. Played like 9 games 1 year. I don't know if he played any other spot. He's from South Dakota. Was the college that he went to. But man, they could find him. They found those small school kickers and punters all over the place. They found Tim Cedar from the classroom. He was teaching classes, and he ended up kicking for him and back in those days. But But all right, great stuff. Let's see what the Cowboys can do. It's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a really close game. It'll be fun to go to watch the game, but basically you can just fast forward to the final 5 minutes of the game because it's going to go down to the end. Can the Cowboys make the plays and can they get stops on defense? If they can, then I think they can pull off a win. But it'll be fun to talk about on Monday. All right, for Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. See you Monday, Cowboys Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?